folks, what the crap's going on? Welcome back to the channel, HeirofCarthage here, and yes, we are back in the campaign with Patchy the Demon Prince. Sorry it has been a few days, but I have been busy celebrating my 10th wedding anniversary with Mrs. Heir, and obviously that kind of stuff's gonna come first, but man, I am excited to get back in here with you all. Anytime I'm away from creating stuff, no matter what I'm doing and how good whatever I'm doing is, I do miss making content for you all, and so I am excited to be back and to get things going again. So yeah, let's pick things up, obviously right where we left off. Let's see, Nurgle corruptions. I really want to keep getting more favor so we can build these armies up further. We also want to have some defense capability. These different settlements, though I am going to sit on a little bit of money just in case we end up in a bit of an awkward position, which has seemed to happen. I've had to conquer a whole bunch of this chaos waste that I don't want. Our mission is to actually go after Norska. We'll see whether we actually get to do that at any given point. This campaign has kind of gone off the rails in terms of not really being what I had intended to go after, because I was given the objective of taming Norska, going after the Empire, and then going after Kislev. May have to alter those a bit, or else this one may carry on for about 17,000 weeks as I continue to wait on the AI to give me any opportunity to go after those objectives, being as they just seem to never lay off of me. I will obviously get to some of your comments like we usually do. It looks like we've got a shot here. We have the seduce units, and some of you have been saying, Heir, you're not using it, and it's because, I mean, the budget they give me, we can't recruit any of these units. I don't even think I can pick up like a cheap Marauder unit here. They will join. Yeah, see, I can't even get this unit. We don't have enough money to pull it off, I think is the reason why right now. But yeah, in any case, there you go. I mean, it just not really, hasn't been worth it. Let's auto-resolve this one. Not much to see here. We're going to give that glory to Korn. And it looks like Sigvald's still begging for peace treaties. I really wish Valkia would kind of just finish him off. She is at war with him, and surely she can finish it. I'm not giving him any peace treaties. I don't think he's going to come over into my territory, but then again, you never know. AI likes to single you out. At least sometimes it does. Let's see. The garrison battle. It's going to give us this one. I don't really see why, but I'm going to take it. Thanks to the auto-resolve gods there, folks. Let's see here. Diplomatic relations with the Hmong. Choose insight. We'll take the diplomatic relations, so we don't have to deal with any of that stuff for now. Okay, so we've got some cash on hand. We're making some pretty good income at the moment, which is always good to see as well. We've got Patchy in a good position to continue to take the fight to our enemies here at the Pillar of Skulls, so let's keep pushing that. We want to absolutely crush them. We're going to have to head to Karak Doom here in a moment to finish off Archaon's forces. I don't know why he started this war, but I absolutely will end it. We haven't, unfortunately, gotten a good battle in a while in this campaign. I would absolutely love to have one, but they are certainly just not giving me a lot of good opportunities for it. We've got Patchet, which is our new character, Turd Hilius, and Arcost here. So we've got some good characters on the way, and we've had some fun with that. You all can continue to feel free to write up any stories for them. We had some good ones, and if it's in these comments, I will try to get to that as well. I am going to continue to kind of work on garrisons and just kind of basic building stuff here to get this province ready. So let me get to a comment here. There was a comment on the last one from Garter Knight where he mentioned item sets, and he commented more on it because I had asked him for a little more information. He said, Heir, to explain my comment on the last episode about item sets, some of the body parts unlocked are for sets, which comprise of 3 specific parts. When they're all equipped together, you get a bonus. You can tell which ones they're from because in a set, they have an armor symbol on the top of the screen that will show you what the other parts in the set are and whether you have unlocked them. The sets are either god-specific or unaligned. Hope it's a clearer explanation. Let me take a look at it then real quick, because I've seen that type of stuff like in Three Kingdoms, and I've seen a little bit of it in Warhammer. I did not know that they were doing that with the body parts. So let's go take a look at Patchy, because it is good to kind of take a look at his body parts each time and see if we've got anything new that we want to use. You can see here like Armored Prince of Chaos. So like gifts in set. Heavy Gauntlet. Okay, so like this is like a gift we put together. The following bonus will be provided after all the gifts in the set are equipped. So we get extra Corruption for Undivided, a huge leadership aura size. We get Mortal Blow, extra 20 armor for the entire army, and 15 physical resistance for the entire army. That is a pretty big change there. So that is pretty wild. Yeah, so that one's a set. Let's go see if we see the yeah, see, this is the Scorched Prince of Chaos. Literal Trier by Fire. So if you do all these ones, so it tells you the different ones here. We get Flaming Attacks, Mortal Blow, Weapon Strength for the whole Lord's Army, some Fire Resistance for the Lord's Army. That is pretty neat, some of these sets. Corn Glory. Okay, that's a smaller set and doesn't really have a huge thing. That bonus versus infantry for Corn units is kind of interesting. This one would be good if we had a lot of Nurgle units. This is going to give them extra replenishment. Let's take a look at some of the rest of these here too. That one's just not very impressive, if I'm being honest. This is a Zinchi one, so we get barriers for Marauders of Zinch Chaos. So yeah, extra 15% barrier. That's if we were going to be Zinchi. So I'm assuming a lot of these are the same types of sets. Honestly, the only set that seems potentially worth it here, getting 20 armor and 15 physical resistance for the entire army. We'd have to put on the Heavy Gauntlets, Armored Wings, Armored Tail. So I'm sure this would change Patchy's stats, but it would overall give his army some pretty disgusting benefits. Let's just, you know what? I may change it back. We can always change it back, right? That's part of it. Let's try it. Let's try it. So we need the Heavy Gauntlets on the right arm, the Armored Wings. So let's go to the right arm. And let's go over to the Heavy Gauntlets here. And this will, like I said, probably tick away overall at some of Patchy's performance, but I think it'll be interesting to get all of these in there. Let's go back and see. We got the gauntlets. We need... So we got the right arm. We need Armored Wings. Let's go over to the wings. And here's the Armored Wings. That's got the Purge the Weak ability here on it. And let's go and see here now too. So the Heavy Gauntlets on the left arm. Got an enormous amount of armor going on here. And now let's check. So we're missing the Armored Tail and the Heavy Leg Armor for the legs. So let's go to the tail and the Armored Tail. And then we need the Heavy Leg Armor. Right now we've got this Foul Prince one on, so let's go to the Heavy Leg Armor. 160 armor, holy cow. Holy cow. Alright, we now have all sets, or all pieces of this set. All we really need to look at, potentially at this point, we got the offhand, we've got a shield in it right now, and we've also got the hand weapon. I think I'll keep those because we changed those late into the last one. We do have potentially a new weapon here, though. Looks like it is going to be a staff from Zinch. We're not going to switch to that. But all right, here is our latest Patchy, folks. Here's our latest version of him. I'm trying to remember, how did I zoom? There we go. All right, yeah, so here's our latest version of Patchy. He is looking well armored. Nice color tone to him. So armored Patchy is now 160 armor. He's honestly got some pretty sick melee stats still. And his army is going to pick up the bonus here of 20 armor for all units and 15% physical resistance. So let's give it a shot and appreciate Garter Knight for bringing that to my attention. And then hopefully showing it here might help teach some of you, if you were like me and you didn't fully catch all those little hints that were coming across there. Sometimes I just play. I don't always pay good attention to some of the things that I should be paying attention to there. So definitely appreciate the catch. Boy, Killscribe has got some disgusting weapon damage when he is on his Juggernaut, and it's only going to get higher and higher as we continue to throw this. Let's give him Deadly Onslaught first, though. Got a lot of points to give him. As far as the plagues go, I'm still running this one here, which causes terror for all units in my army, which I think is pretty great. We could get Vanguard deployment, which would be really fun too. But I think we're gonna stick to the one we got right now. It's a pretty solid plague. I think I'm feeling pretty good about its effects. Let's take a look here. We do have a little bit of cash left over. There's a ton of buildings we can build all over the place. Probably ought to just upgrade the monolith there, and let's go ahead and end our turn because we don't have a ton of cash left. Hopefully we've got Patchet still moving towards the front so we can try and wrap things up here and then finally decide where to go next. I think to make things interesting, because we have had a few battles against Norska, I may go ahead and head into Kislev. It's possible that some other faction may have already ruined Kislev. I don't know how well they hold up in Immortal Empires, because at this point, you know, a lot of factions have been extincted because we're 100-something turns into the campaign, and it may end up changing ultimately what our objectives are, but, you know, that's okay. Things change, plans change. The best plan always gets messed up whenever the battle starts. Oh yeah, we're going to get a fight at Karak Doom. I'm going to attack this army outside of it, see if we can pull them out of there into a large fight and try our new abilities. We are going to find Archaon here. We do have a seduction budget that we can use here. I don't know, yeah, 2250s. We've only got 1,000 in our seduce budget. And we cannot even get the cheapest unit to be seduced for that, so really no point. We could lightning strike and try and pick these units off, but we want to pull them all out, and we need to go for the victory here. We're going to be getting some massive armor bonuses and some physical resistance, so it's ought to get really interesting here because our army is going to have some significant buffs. Let's go give it a shot. Folks, Armored Patchy is here on the battlefield. Man, he is looking pretty threatening. That is a lot of armor. And yeah, so Archaon's final stand here. If he dies, then pretty much his faction should be gone. One of his sorcerers here started off, and I Vanguard deployed my hounds and my knights here. And then I've also got my seekers. And they're going to come in and KO him quickly. My units should be causing terror because of, well, I think they still have that ability to cause terror because of the plague we had. We push the enemy out. Archaon's reinforcements are going to be coming from back here, back towards the settlement. You can, I don't know if you can actually see the settlement off in the distance. It'd be cool if you could, but you cannot. So anyway, his sorcerer got absolutely wrecked. I'm flying Patchy and Appius forward. Appius, I'm kind of hoping maybe to go get some cheeky. I'm really looking forward to the final transmutation from Appius, and I could get some cheeky cast up on Archaon before he ever joins up in combat. We'll get some good looks at Appius there. He is looking particularly good. And then Patchy, like I said, pretty proud of it. Let's go look at my whole army while we have a moment. Now remember, the army now gets a huge additional armor of 20 and then 15 physical resistance, so already heavily armored units are going to be even more heavily armored. My gosh, man, they got this game looking good. Real good. There is Kill Scribe leading the way for his Marauders. Looking really good on his Juggernaut. He is going to be a Juggernaut there with that weapon strength. Got the weird spawn right behind him. Let's look at the Exalted Bloodletters back here. I believe we have the Hellforged Host. That was the Hellforged Host, I believe. Yeah, because here's the normal variety. That was the Hellforged Host. Some warriors with halberds, and then I've got my more mobile units in the back supporting the Severed Claw Aspiring Champions, which these are a nice unit to hold up if you're flank. So yeah, Archaon should be moving across the battlefield now. I've completely routed his sorcerer, and I'm just chasing it down with my seekers. So we should be able to get ahead of that. Let's go get a look at the war host of the Apocalypse, led by none other than Archaon, the Never Chosen. He does have a couple of units of spawn. He's got his own Severed Claw moving up here. I see some Chaos Trolls, Marauder Horsemen. There's going to be a great deal of Marauders, Forsaken, and Chaos Warriors rolling in as well. You see the war host here moving forward. Let's go take a look. I believe this is Archaon yet, moving onto the battlefield, looking really nice there on Dorgar. It's a good thing he doesn't have Age of Sigmar Dorgar, because it looks a lot more threatening than the one on here. Look at his champions. Man, these units look good coming in. Dang, man. Like I said, they have this game looking absolutely spectacular. So there are some units. He's even got a giant rolling in here, too. There's going to be some spearmen and halberds. A lot of marauders rolling in. More trolls. So he does have a large host here to bring against me. I did use a summon ability where I summoned in some Furies to block their own, which were following Appius. He's also being pursued by these marauder horsemen. Not a bad play here by the AI, because I really don't have a great answer to these guys. I do have a few answers, but not a great one. So I'm going to have to just fall back with Appius. kind of lure them back to my force. Now, I've chosen a point on the battlefield for Patchy to focus on, which is a choke point. And the reason I want that is because I have all the armor, I have the physical resistance, I have the magic, and what I really want to do is force the AI to fight in my style, which is I want them to have to hit my front line, and these are going to be my tankier units, and then my back line is my damage-dealing units. So the intention is for the AI to waste their charge into my tankier units, and then I reinforce my damage-dealing units, and then really pour in the magic, use Patchy to do some serious tanking against Archaon, and then basically pour on the heat and go for the victory. The Warhost of the Apocalypse is moving up, and they will send some units out to chase my Seekers, who are working on destroying that Sorcerer still. He's lasting way longer than he should. CA really needs to fix how quickly units take damage when they're retreating, because it is way too slow, and it's kind of a big mess. So they're going to use their Marauder Horsemen. They're going to be pretty proud of themselves here for their skirmishing, and again, not a bad call at AI to try and get what damage done that they can while they're out here. And the background over here looking spectacular too. What a battlefield. Hope you're all ready for an epic one. So yeah, anyway, that's the plan. We'll see how it's going to go. Archaon is moving up, not far behind now. You can see him coming up. Patchy can go head-to-head with him. He can probably take him, but Archaon's going to have a lot of support as well. So it's going to be a crazy fight. I've got more Furies coming in. I will dive bomb those into the Marauder Horsemen here in a moment, but for the moment, the Marauder Horsemen kind of getting ahead of themselves, so I brought up my Flesh Hounds. And I go ahead and dive the Furies in to block the retreat of the Marauder Horsemen and to get Archaon's attention. This is going to allow me to bring in Patchy and fix Archaon and hopefully give myself the charge. So it gives me a decent opportunity. Now, this will put me at a little bit of risk here because Patchy's going to be exposed. But I do feel like he's going to be able to tank. He has absolutely obscene stats in terms of armor. He's also got quite a lot of hit points. He should be able to hold on. I'm going to bring up Killscribe to try and help up here too. Here he comes on his Juggernaut. He's going to be moving in to try and come support his Lord against Archaon. So I now have them both fighting, and this is what I want. I kind of want Archaon's troops to basically waste their charge in a spot where it won't work, and you can see that that's kind of been the case here. They're throwing units in. I'm going to block their approach using this choke point so they won't have a way to outflank me, and I'm basically going to force them to fight all my armor and physical resistance straight head on. That's exactly what I want. I do have Appius in the back. He's already dropped a final transmutation, which is allowing me to get good damage done on Archaon. Patchy is having to tank some significant damage, but you can look at his stats here, also pretty awesome. And then here comes his reinforcement, the Mirror Guard heading in. And then I've got some Warriors of Horn, and all of these are going to be coming in to support Patchy in this fight, so a real heavyweight fight breaking out. Here comes the Giant. This is going to be Bilious Thundergruff here coming in for Archaon's troops. So a very tough regiment of renown unit there. And right over here, I've got my Marauders coming in and holding the main line against these Forsaken. And then I've got the, my Exalted Bloodletters coming in, and then the Hellforged Host is already chewing through my right-hand flank and into the enemy units. You can see another final transmutation coming down here. So there's going to be a lot of damage being done to Archaon. And my forces are holding rather wonderfully at the moment, and I do have backups here as well that will eventually be moving in. The Weird Spawn, dual-wielding Chaos Warriors. I've got my Skull Crushers, and then on the flank, I let my Seekers get stuck there and killed by some Chaos Spawn, so a little bit of a mess, but I had been wanting to replace that unit anyway, so it won't be the end of the world. I'm going to summon some Blue Horrors behind enemy lines here and start firing into their back. And I've also got Appius raining down some fire. Brutal fight for Patchy right now. He is hurting rather significantly, but he's dealing some awesome damage. He got rid of an Exalted Hero. There's another one here that's damaged, and Archaon is heavily damaged as well. So despite really taking a beating, he's going to hold on. You can see me pouring fire into Bilious Thundergruff there. And yeah, I've got Furies diving down. There's another final transmutation coming in. I've also called in a Searing Doom on that big blob and caused big damage. My right-hand units are now victorious. The Hellforged Host and the combined arms here have absolutely chopped through Archaon's left flank, and now they will be able to fall through and back into the main fight, and it is turning desperate here for Archaon's forces. He becomes very weak himself, and his forces are being pushed back and can't hold on a whole lot longer. Their best push was right here on their far right, my far left. I think that was a giant fart from Bilious Thundergruff, who's now wafting it into his own nose. I mean, that is terrible. CA, please. Anyway, yeah, you can see that this fight is not going well for Archaon. His last pocket of holdouts here is having to take on Killscribe, and no one wants to fight Killscribe on his Juggernaut. I promise you that. Look at him just waylaying through these units. He has a bonus versus infantry, and he does tremendous weapon damage. You can see him pushing through there. And I imagine we're going to see all of the forces of Archaon fleeing here very soon. They just got hit with an enfeebling foe as well. And now the Weird spawned in here as well, and Archaon is going to be fleeing. He can no longer stay in this fight. His forces are gone. I think he's just got a Chaos spawn out here that my Doom Knights are taking on. Yeah, we got that spawn out here that's now been pinned down. So as soon as the spawn's gone, the battle is over. So Patchy, the Armored Demon Prince, using his new abilities and his new armor set bonus, to find a huge victory over what was once the leaders of Chaos Undivided, but no longer is that the case. Folks, that battle was epic, and you can definitely tell that our units are more survivable. The only one I lost was my Seekers of Slaanesh. I obviously mismicroed them somewhere, and honestly I've been meaning to replace them with a more powerful unit at some point. So that'll be fine. We'll replace them. Fun unit, good unit. But I mean, that was a crushing victory on our part. Look at the value here for our Iridescent Horror. That is insane. That's Appius there, coming in at 7142. And then Patchy was tanking, even in the middle of that huge fight. I mean, you can tell these units just got some insane tankiness out of them with that bonus. So thanks to Garter Knight, that is a pretty cool bonus there, because our army is in excellent fighting shape now. Able to put down a real beating on some fairly tough enemy armies there. Like, that was definitely a pretty considerable enemy force. I'm going to do a little bit of building here, just to try and get that auto-resolve to swing a little bit more. Well, it's not going to wipe out any of my units. We'll just go ahead and take it. So there we go. We took Karak Doom, and a pretty epic victory there. It looks like we were mixing Khorne and Tzeentch here, so I'll go ahead and continue that. So we'll have a clean mix of Tzeentch and Khorne in this province, Tzeentch and Khorne. So Karak Doom now in our control as well, and we're going to start putting in some defenses there. And we earned some money, no doubt, from that epic battle. It looks like that was the end of the War Host of the Apocalypse. So we managed to KO them. The only thing that's left is these just few other settlements here. We should be able to wipe them out. I've got Patchette headed in, and that cleanup duty ought to be possible for her. Her army won't be near as strong. But, you know, we can make it stronger here soon as we get the opportunity. I want to make a really nasty combination of Slaanesh and Nurgle for her. I still think that'd be interesting, like, you know, tons of speed and damage mixed with, you know, certain units that are epically tanky. I just feel like that could be a whole lot of fun. So, yeah, anyway, I don't really know what to spend these last couple of points on, because it just doesn't matter a ton. I'll just throw them here. Let's take a look at our regiments of renown. Let's go ahead and bring these Heralds of Khorne Fury into this army. We'll have both regiments of the epic Khorne cavalry there. So now it's definitely stronger. We still have these Hounds, which are good units, but we can probably do better. Then again, I don't know if we need to. These guys are looking pretty vicious, and could be quite nice, all things considered. Boy, Appius, the seamster there, putting on a show with his magic in that battle. Did you all see that? I mean, that was absolutely insane. I loved it. That was a fun battle. It's just where you've done a lot of work building your army up and getting those cool bonuses, and then you get to see it pay dividends. That's something about the campaign in Total War Warhammer 3, and all Total War games that I like. I like seeing the payoff, you know, for the work you put in. Seeing those units get stronger and then seeing that payoff come is always a nice feeling. Definitely a nice feeling. Let's build up a little bit there, and we do have a commandment available here. Let's spread some undivided corruption. I feel like they need to work on those commandments, too. All those commandments are kind of boring. I think for the Demon Prince, he needs a reworked skill tree. They need to work on the commandments, and then it's getting pretty close. Like, it's pretty close. I like that you get the mixture of all the units. I feel like a skill tree, though, is still really boring. And, yeah, fix a couple of those things, and I think the Demon Prince campaign would be in some pretty solid shape. It would be a nice offering. I think the other thing that'd be nice about a Demon Prince campaign is if CA could offer, like, an army painter with it. Honestly, that needs to be there for all factions, but then it'd be really neat because the player could kind of, like, literally make their own, you know, lord, make their own army, and that would be really fun. Let's get this Shrieking Blade. Maybe give that to Patchet if she doesn't have anything better. Let's go check that out real quick. Her details. No, she doesn't have hardly anything here because we are short of things. We do have the Bale Sword here, which is poison attacks. Could be pretty cool. The Shrieking Blade is nice. It causes terror. I don't know. Bale Sword is nice too because the poison and the extra weapon strength. Let's give her the Bale Sword. Don't really have a whole lot else that we can put in her hands at the moment. And Turd Hilius, we could give him one of these weapons here. We give him the Shrieking Blade. And then let's go over to our coast here. The Troll Throde. So go with the Firestorm here. We got another Shrieking Blade too. What about Patchy? We don't have any things equipped here, so let's give that Shrieking Blade to Appius. Awesome. Well, we need some items. We have not picked up a lot of items, so whatever it is, we're just not getting a good drop rate on those. Let's improve that. So Patchy, able to move on at this point. I think Patchet can kind of wrap things up. Like I said, it'd be kind of fun to go down and see if there's Kislev to take the fight to. Or city, yeah, so we need to head back up in this direction. It looks like Prague, at least, has been leveled. What faction is this? Karak Vlag. Do I have any agreements with them?
I'd rather be raiding, but you have my time.
Well, part of our goal was to wipe out Norska. Not a whole lot of Norska standing. I think I might... I start a war with these guys that we could get pulled into other stuff. I think I'm just going to blast past them and go take a look at Kislev with Patchy. So I may attempt to get a temporary agreement with these guys. They probably don't want me having military access. But we have military access, so I don't need any agreements with them. Good. All right.
What's theirs?
So I won't be making any agreements with them, and I will be swinging through their territory on up here past Volksgrad and into Prague. We should be able to do some replenishing along the way. Patchet has nearly arrived on station after a very long journey across the whole of our very east-west territory here. And we're going to go get into battle here at the Burning Monolith. And it doesn't look like there's going to be much action, so we'll go ahead and auto-resolve that one since we had such a better battle. Everything we own here is already corn, so let's just finish that one off with corn. So yeah, now that entire province dedicated to corn. I think Writhing Fortress, Gallows Tree. Yeah, so we've got some more to knock out from this faction. I mean, unless they'll just they'll take a peace treaty. Let's not waste our time.
We'll spill your blood.
I don't know. I could just go ahead and go kill him. It'll help level up Patchet. And we can then have her be more useful to us over time. So I'll go ahead and finish the murder of that faction. Plus, that'll make Killscribe happy because he loves having kills to count. Speaking of, let's go in here, and we can now get Drawn to Decadence, which will start to draw down the cost of her army, and again, allow me to get an even better army and still be able to maintain. So that's good. Fleshy Abundance is now capped out. And our Allurus here, got the Lash. Acquiescence is a good one, because that's a very nice debuff. Got Hysterical Frenzy here, which is a nice offensive buff if we need it. Burning Monolith. And a little bit of cash here. Let's go ahead and start the defensive process. And folks, that is going to be a good episode. We knocked out Archaon's faction. They are out for the count. We are on the way to Kislev, so we can pick it up in the next episode and go see if Kislev is still there. And if not, we'll come up with another objective, because obviously this campaign went a little sideways from what we expected, but nevertheless, it has been a fun campaign, and it has been successful, so we'll make what we can of it. You all make sure to leave me your comments. If you enjoyed this, go put a like up there, and if you want to leave a comment, tell me what you think we should do if the Empire and Kislev didn't really survive. What kind of altered objective could we do for one final push on the campaign if our main objectives didn't really turn out the way we intended? Anyway, HeirofCarthage, signing off for this one for now, and I will see you all soon with some more action in the Patchy the Demon Prince campaign.